Newcastle United will be welcoming Chelsea to the St James Park in the early kickoff of the English Premier League at exactly 13:30 Nigerian time. This is the kind of game that Newcastle relishes. Playing any big six club at home, Newcastle, they will be like they saw a trophy that they are going to win. And in all honesty, it is going to be a very, very tight encounter and a difficult game for Chelsea. It is always a difficult game for any top team going to Newcastle and picking up maximum points. If you go there and you beat Newcastle, even you will know that you played to beat Newcastle. Now, Chelsea, on the other hand, have had a kind of blip past 2 weeks, especially with that loss against Atlanta. A lot of Chelsea fans were calling for the head of Enzo Maresca, who for me I consider a good manager, by the way, because with the kind of players he used to win the Club World Cup and the UEFA Conference League, which for me he could have won, it's fine. But then winning that Club World Cup is the icing on the cake for me. It's going to be a very difficult encounter for Chelsea, as well as it is going to be a very difficult encounter for Newcastle, because both teams are going to be battling it out, and nobody is going to be running away with this one. However, Newcastle always turn up at their home against any top quality team, and I don't expect this to be a different. However, if you look at how Newcastle have been performing, especially in the last 5 games, you will see there are only 2 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss, and that 1 loss was just last week against Sunderland. In midweek, they picked up a win against Fulham in the EFL Cup. But if you look at Premier League in the last 5 games, they've only won, I think, one against Burnley, 2-1. And Chelsea, on the other hand, have back-to-back wins after a lackluster performance against Leeds, drawing 0-0 against Bournemouth and then losing that one to Atlanta. They beat Everton in their last outing in the Premier League 2-0 and then beating Cardiff 3-1 in the EFL Cup away. Now, you see this game. It's going to be a very difficult game to call, but I would expect that both teams will score in this game. That is one sure thing I would expect. And I think this one is likely going to end up in a draw. And for me, I am predicting a 2-2 draw. Even though Chelsea will need this win to climb up the table, because I did an analysis of Chelsea last week where I said, if not for the silly points they were dropping against Leeds and against Bournemouth, if they had won those 2 games, points difference between them and Arsenal would have reduced drastically. They would have had at least 5 more points. If you add 5 to where they are currently, they will just be about 2 or 3 points behind Arsenal. But it is what it is, because the Premier League is not mathematics. Currently, Chelsea are on 4th position, 28 points, and Newcastle are on 22 points. So let's just see how this one pans out. But for me, I think because Newcastle are home, if this was in Chelsea's home, I would have gone as far as saying Chelsea would win. But because Newcastle will be playing home, I just kind of feel that this one will end in a draw. Let me know what you think in the comment section and let's go.